U.S. military officials have deployed 80 non-combat troops to Chad to aid in the search for more than 200 Nigerian schoolgirls who were kidnapped last month by members of the Islamic terrorist group Boko Haram. And the violence, it continues to escalate in that country with bombings, assassinations, and now kidnappings, all part of a plan to overthrow the government in Nigeria and create an Islamic state. Well, the abduction has cast the group into the international spotlight. Its members, they've been causing havoc in Nigeria for the better part of a decade. Now, yesterday, I spoke with Dr. Jude Aguwa. He's professor of theology and religious studies at Mercy College in Dobbs Ferry, and he was born and raised in Nigeria. Dr. Aguwa, he gave a first-hand look at both the country, its people, and Boko Haram. Take a listen. Professor, I guess it's under the heading of you didn't want to be proven right, but you've been warning about the threat of Boko Haram for some time now, and you said as an unchecked, really terroristic group that they've been permitted to grow in size here, and they've had their fingerprints on a lot of atrocities well before even these most recent kidnappings.
Oh yes, 2 years ago actually I made a presentation at the American Academy of Religion conference, in the African session, and I did speak on this. My paper addressed, the question of the Boko Haram and the threat, they posed.
Yeah.
And this was based on the activities of this group. It started around 2002 when the founder, Mohammed Yusuf, who was a cleric, and started to speak a little bit in more radical ways, and during the Friday sermons, and was able to get a lot of people around him. That part of Nigeria, the northeast, is considered as the poorest area, the least developed. The level of illiteracy, that area too, is much higher than anywhere else. So it was very easy for this individual, the founder, to draw a whole lot of followers.
And also now there's even threats that this could even go across the border into Cameroon. Why has it gotten to this point if they've been identified as a threat here, and not just with some radicalized teachings, but violence? More than 1,000 deaths are attributed to this group.
Well, actually, the government had not, stayed, idly. And for instance, their leader was killed in 2009 during a confrontation with government agencies. And during that time too, over 700 of the members were killed. And the government felt that somehow it had, succeeded in neutralizing them, but then they usually come back. And the successor of that founder has proven to be even more charismatic and been able to strengthen himself and his organization far more than...
and as we see in that famous video, in broad daylight, holding the gun and talking about what he's planning to do with those young girls. I'll talk about the kidnapped children in a moment, but the idea that they could do this to a school, is that part of Nigeria live in fear of this group, or almost paralyzed fear that you can't speak out against the group here and some of the consequences that they've been threatening? The very name of the organization is by definition against westernized beliefs, certainly in the education of women being one of the things they're most vocal about.
Government agencies were actually warned in advance that this attack was going to take place. But the problem is, over the years, this organization has proven to be almost intractable. They have attacked police stations and freed some of their members who were in prison. They had attacked schools and gotten away with that. And the Nigerian military has actually been deployed in that area. This group has grown to be stronger than the military and has more, perhaps more sophisticated weapons than the military, and so and then have the audacity to do whatever they wanted to do. And we hear reports that even security agents would sort of retreat. 2 years ago, actually, the president of Nigeria, Jonathan, good luck Jonathan, he did say that he feared that his government was infiltrated by the Boko Haram. And part of it was that at the very beginning, it appears that some government, some politicians in that part of the world had actually supported the Boko Haram, intending to use them against their opponents.
Let's talk about the missing girls. Do you believe they're still in Nigeria, or do you think they've been moved out?
Well, what I think might actually be pretty much irrelevant, because nobody knows. That's what we understand, that nobody knows where they are now, and whether they are still in one spot or they have been separated. I mean, the only thing we have is the video showing a group of them together, and not even all of them.
Yeah. Doctor, finally, this incident, as tragic as it is, and hopefully there's a safe resolution for those missing girls, are you hopeful that at least the international spotlight will make the situation better going forward? Or are you worried that in some bizarre way this could even be more of a rallying cry and a recruitment for Boko Haram, that they could even get larger because of this?
Eventually, at the end, they are not going to be too strong for the international community. And initially, Nigeria had treated this as a local problem. Now it's no longer a local problem. The whole thing is to crush them, that somehow they must be crushed. But then there has to be a way to address this ideology that makes the Quran infallible, and the interpretation of these clerics infallible, and the promise that the only way they can realize a just society is by the Sharia and by no other means. Yeah.
Well, hopefully, if out of this tragic situation, at least the global attention's on this, we'll have both a safe resolution for those young girls, but also a better situation on the ground in northern Nigeria. Dr. Agua, thank you so much. I appreciate the time.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
And we'll, of course, continue to follow the situation in Nigeria. When we come back, we'll wrap things up. Please stay with us. Well, that is all the time that we have for tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. We will see you here again on Monday evening. Till then, have a great weekend and a great Memorial Day.